And we're live.
And we're live.
Hi,
Hi, Dr. Robinson. How you doing?
I am doing just fine because I get to have a lunch date with my brother and
Yes.
we get to talk
Yes.
about the
Somebody
man.
else's business. Yes. 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 Which is a thing we love to do with love. You understand what
This
I'm
is how
saying?
we
Yeah.
connect. We connect.
Yes.
Jake, you
Absolutely.
know, Dustin and I share a love for good television.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Always have. And we've
Always.
always been able to sit around and just,
Well,
really.
Kia, I personally like to consider you a thinker stinker. Okay, that's what you are, Kia. So I like to think too, and so I feel like
Yeah.
when we put our heads together, it's incredible. So
Magic,
yeah,
magic. And I
absolutely.
mean, we just love to do the deep dive. And today's
Yes,
deep dive is dedicated to Portia's family matters. I get
yes,
the values of the Braxtons. Portia's
yep,
family matters.
right, right.
Um,
You want me to tell you
this
how you can tell
latest,
the difference?
yes.
Because the practice were the values. Portions are family matters. Now, family matters is a title that we associate with scripted television, i.e., a fake story, and
Oh,
so you can remember that this one is the one that's the fake story.
yes, because
I don't
there's
know if that would
lots.
help.
That's so
Okay.
helpful. It's just a
Yeah.
mnemonic device.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
puts
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
together.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
what was clear to me from the very beginning was that Portia was playing in our face.
Yes, she is. Yep. I didn't
And
want to believe it
I
at first. I
I
didn't want to
didn't
believe it.
either.
We have our opinion of Portia has changed over the years. We have although we immediately dismissed her because of her lack of aptitude, we
Hmm.
also came back around. She grew on
Yes.
us. With love we got attached to her and her quirks, and then
Hmm.
she whooped a little ass, and we that
Hmm.
kind of just it set well with us. It
Endeared us to
endeared
her.
us to her. Yes, Kia.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I was hoping for the best, but we
I
ended up
was
getting
too.
something
Ended up getting
else.
the worst. I would say Portia, especially during a dark time where when Nene's falling away from
Oh
from the
my
housewives.
goodness.
Portia really came through and saved the day for us in some of
Yep.
these more recent seasons of the
Yep.
housewives. So I was, for one, very excited that she was going to be doing this. But again, like you, I am so disappointed. I mean, we've just moved past this. I am disheartened
Yeah.
at what I have seen.
Yep. Disheartened, disappointed, flabbergasted, fucked up. What else?
Oh,
How else you want me to describe my
I
feeling at
mean,
this point? Because I'm
and I'm
with.
pissed. I'm mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm mad. I feel like we have been bamboozled, run amok. Because how many of us, like you said,
Run them
we've been
up.
rooting,
Run them
run
up.
them up.
Run them up.
We've been rooting for Portia for a long time, and now, like her, I don't know. What I will say is this, and I will get your thoughts. This is so far fetched to me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
ashamed that Portia would allow, like, I don't know. I just feel like I wanted to feel like Portia was better than to just sort of
Mm-hmm.
objectify her life, her family, her child in this
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
For it's because it's not even entertaining. It's not funny. There are moments where it's like you get a laugh, but it's like sad. It's like watching a
Let's go
car
there. Why
crash.
don't? Hey, right in front of your
Please.
damn face. Let's go there. First of all, black people don't co-parent successfully until after about a 20-year cooling incubator period. Okay, so like y'all got to fight and argue for 20 years as exes. You know what I'm saying? And be kind only on holidays before you can even
Right.
begin to have a blended family like what Portia wanted us to believe she was trying to attempt to put
Right.
together. Okay,
Right.
now this is in today's society, people do have a more progressive approach, but Portia
Hmm.
has aged out of that. She's not a part of the new generation, the new
She's
guard.
not.
Okay,
She's
Portia
not.
old like me. Remember that
And
lady
me.
over? That's how Portia's old like me. So Portia, honey, you don't come from there. You're not progressive enough to have that sort of co-parenting family, which would support your radical decisions in your love life. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to support that. So there's some healing that needs to take place. You still love Dennis. Dennis still loves you, and you are
So very
still
much.
mad at Dennis that your relationship went sour. That's what all this shit is about.
And that's what I hate because in prior seasons of the Housewives, we watched Dennis and Portia go through all this therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and what I'm watching now is that, like, there's so much that healing that has not happened, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And Porsha, I think her ego has been bruised so
Mm-hmm.
much by Dennis cheating on her when she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
She has
Mm-hmm.
not, she can't get past that. And the baby is
Mm-hmm.
4, 5, 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
but
Right, right.
but she cannot get past that. And to me, it seems
She
like
can't.
at the beginning, 2 Christmases ago, we was watching Dennis and Porsha with the matching pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
And like he said in the earlier seasons of this show, 2, 3 months later, she was engaged to a whole nother person. And to me, it seemed like Dennis was not moving at the pace that Porsha wanted him to move as far as them sort of reconciling, working through their stuff. Porsha wanted to get right back to give me my ring back.
Exactly.
Dennis was
Exactly,
like,
Keia.
let's just, hello. I mean,
Yeah.
we just now got back speaking. Like, can we
Yep,
just,
yep.
and Porsha was like, I want to be married. I want my life to look this way. And so here comes Simon, old thumb built looking milk dud self, coming in just ready to just be the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole situation is still very much an open wound.
Let me tell you something. You cannot pretend to leave the door open for forgiveness when you still want to resent a person and still want to just reside in victimhood. You know what I'm saying? You can't do
Very
that.
much so.
Either, and I'm not saying that, infidelity, especially while you're pregnant, is something that's easy to forgive or forget. Absolutely not. But if you're going to remember that shit, and if you're going to hold him accountable for it, be 10 toes on that shit. What Porsha was trying to do was aggressively and actively pursue a securing of this situation. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? While still acting like she was mad at him and he needed to kiss her ass to get her back. You can't do both. And I understand why she's trying to do, but you can't. Right. You got to pick a side. Either you're going to be mad or you're going to be here. That's what you got to pick. Either or. And if you're not ready for that, don't make that what the circumstance is. Then that's all you have to do.
Just be truthful in where you are, because you just bringing the rest of us in on this open wound, right?
Including Pilar. She was scratching them braids the whole damn season of First Family. Every time you see Pilar, hi mom. Pilar tired of this shit. She's
sick of it, and I feel like she's embarrassed. I think she's embarrassed because we don't talk about it as much as we should. But kids have the cognitively process way faster than they can articulate. For
sure, yes.
Babies, and I mean,
That's why they be looking at us like that.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So they may not be able to articulate everything that they're feeling, but they have this intuition.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think, and they absolutely can sense, especially dis-ease. Like, and there's so much tension. Cause I felt so bad. Like, just this past episode, the baby had to get her tonsils and her adenoids out at such a young age. Her parents in the recovery room not speaking. just minutes off of a fist fight.
Pilar said, "Well, I guess can't none of us talk up in here then, huh?"
So, I'm not talking. We all silent. Got it.
Right. You got your adenoids.
You got your adenoids, and I don't even have none.
Okay.
I'm the only one with y'all got adenoids, but I got all the sense.
Ain't nothing in here but wind. Okay.
So wait, okay. We talked. Okay, more broadly, we get the sense that we know that Porsha's, this is a mess and it's been a train wreck to watch. There have been some highlights for me.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to tell you that Aunt Liz has come single-handedly saved this
Mama
entire...
Odie, let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something about Aunt Liz. Woo! Aunt Liz be saying whatever she want to say to whoever she want to say it to. She like she was on that bridge and she done done the good trouble. Okay, so she ain't scared of you motherfuckers. She gonna say whatever she want to say. That's why she said she don't like Dom. Aunt Liz didn't like none of this shit that was going on.
She don't like none of them. Lauren, the new assistant, she like, who are these strangers? This is family
Aunt
business.
Liz don't like the mother side of the family.
Oh,
period.
Don't.
That's why she told his mother, you should have been met the Jose Williams side of the family a long time ago. That's what she told her. As they sitting up there and all hell is breaking loose. I said, you know what, Mama Liz, Aunt Liz, you know what? But I love her. Her presence on this show made so much sense. And it really, it really just kind of gave us something to follow, something that was consistent
Yes.
in
Yes.
a sea of chaos and all this
Sea of
calamity.
chaos.
Okay, that
Yes.
was going on.
And I love that she was the adult in the
Mm-hmm.
situation who always said what needed to be said. And it wasn't
And mind you,
judgment.
Porsha 40, but go ahead and
Right.
finish what
And
you're
she
saying.
was
Somebody else had
and
to be the adult.
her mama is 65. So
Yeah.
this is what irritates me about Diane. As bad a bitch as she is.
Yes,
Right?
she is. Now, Diane, we ain't gonna act like she ain't
We not
the today's Thelma on Good Times. Okay, we ain't gonna
we're
act
not
like
going
that.
to listen. What we will do
Diane
is
is
tell the
bad.
truth.
Yes.
Exactly. What we
Porsha
will
got
do
it
is
from my mama. Okay.
honestly, okay, and
'Cause we seen
we're
the
all.
sister.
I love to see it because I
Yes.
aspire. Diane, I aspire that if I'm walking around looking like Diane at Diane age, just cancel everything right now. Okay,
I'm
y'all
trying
not
to
gonna be able
tell
to
you.
say nothing else to me.
I don't know how far I can
As
go with the joke, but I'm gonna be disrespectful. I'm gonna be respectful rather right now. I'm just gonna leave it there. But just know, I was gonna really take a deep dive into Diane.
okay,
But go ahead. Go ahead.
but I mean, but I will say two things being true at one time.
Mm-hmm.
As bad a bitch as Diane is, she enables Portia's nonsense, right? So,
Completely.
and Aunt Liz we can always count on her to say what needs to be said, right? So, and I think
Until
Portia
Simon come up to her and
say,
tell her that
"Oh
the
God,
family need to be nicer to her, which I know editing had to cut that out because ain't no way on Liz just let that tumbleweed roll past her
ain't
face
no way,
like that.
ain't no way,
Ain't no
ain't no way,
way.
ain't no
Okay.
way,
She
there
looked
ain't no
right at
way."
Simon and was like, "Stop trying to be." Okay.
Somewhere you're
Portia's
not.
husband. They sick of Simon. They love Dennis. I know we all over the place, kid, but they're firing right now in
This
my
is
head.
what we're supposed to do.
That family and that audience, including us, loves Dennis. When after that first argument, when they went upstairs on the roof the next day for that yoga session, and it was just Dennis and Lauren, Portia's sister, and Aunt Liz, and Dom was up there too. Dennis, the first thing he did when he got up there, I'm sorry about all that.
He
rant I was doing
apologized.
yesterday, Aunt Liz. I apologize for that. What she said. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for saying that, Dennis.
Yes.
I appreciate you saying that. And Lauren talking to Dennis, they don't be fucking with Simon like that. They
don't.
love Dennis because Dennis is warm. He's from the Midwest, and the only problem with that relationship was something personal between him and Porsha. His cheating ass. But far
And
as
everybody
everything
got
else,
involved. Yes, and everybody got involved. And I get it. And I mean, like you were saying before, this is in no way saying that Portia doesn't have a right to be hurt. She absolutely does. But I feel like at this point, just the viewers, we have seen Dennis apologize several times.
525,600
600 times. And so I don't understand why Porsha was constantly pushing this I just want accountability rhetoric with Dennis and Mama Gina. And it's just like, we're here. Like, I don't we're here. How many times are we going to continue to bring this old thing up? Why is it okay for Porsha to have a whole nother fiance and Dennis can't bring a date? Like it just seems very petty, very small.
Very small. That's where all of the problems started. The minute Dennis started even mentioning or hinting at bringing another girl.
Period.
Yeah. Which, let's be all the way clear. The only reason Dennis brought that girl there was because Porsha was there with a man. Porsha got mad. Because Dennis still loves Porsha. You can tell from the angle that he would take it.
We had a bit of technical difficulties because the internet is a hater. And now, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
I was going to say, I think we're in the same place when it comes to Dennis, right?
Yes.
Dennis fucked up, absolutely.
But that ain't got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? And Dennis is a good man. He's just in a bad situation. That's it.
He's owned that he fucked up, and he has apologized, and I really think he's trying to do right by his family.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what you think about Mama Gina now. Okay, you go ahead. And
you know, I think that as an adult, one of the things that's really important to me is contributing to the peace and harmony of any situation that I'm involved in. You have a choice whether to be a bitch or not in situations. And Mama Gina is fiercely protective of her son, who is also a cash cow, okay, and represents a breakthrough in their lifestyle and their living being in vain, okay? And so she's protective of that. And the minute that things went sour between him and Porsha, because Mama Gina knew that it was completely Dennis's fault, she got defensive and built up a wall against Porsha. Because there was nothing to do but defend Dennis, because he was 100% wrong. And instead of doing that responsibly and acknowledging that he was wrong and then communicating to Porsha that, you know, she agrees, she's not ignoring his mistake or decision. You know what I'm saying? She didn't do that. She was just like, well, bitch, that's my son. So fuck you then, since you want to go there. And like Porsha said, that's where the pivot occurred. But Mama Gina has locked down into the jaw of that situation, and she refuses to come up off of that shit. And so it looks like her being rude. It looks like her being obtuse and opposite of the peace and harmony, and always starting shit, always saying triggering hot button things and statements, taking jabs. That's what Mama Gina's doing, and she just won't let up.
She won't. And I wanted, like, I mean, just as sort of like the more mature woman in the situation, I would have really appreciated if she would just have owned it. Like, Dennis is my son. I could love him as much as I do and still acknowledge that he messed up. And hold him accountable for that. And I feel like her and Porsha would have, you know, their relationship would not be so strained. But like you said, she has locked her knees down into this thing. I mean, it has become so central to, and what bothers me is like she feels so like old. Like, I just want to tell her, don't nobody owe you nothing, Mama. Like you are not old.
This literally ain't none of your business.
Literally none of your concern. And so I hate that she is in the middle of it, and still I think it's audacious that she's trying to be a victim in this, and not, you know, I guess we can't I would have wanted her to take responsibility for it in the ways that I feel like Dennis has tried to.
For sure. And you cannot expect to be revered and respected, you know, the way that black people do their elders, if you are not behaving as one. You can't cross boundaries of disrespect. Absolutely. With grown-ass people, although they may be younger than you, they're adults. And you can't cross certain street levels of disrespect, talking shit about extremely personal things that have nothing to do with you, and not expect, in the public. You know, in public, on television at that. On television. So we in the most public that you can be. We in the public of the public, okay? Right. And you're choosing to do that with a person who you know is reactive, a person who you know has no control, no self-restraint. Porsha's going to respond in kind, and then Porsha is also a slow burn. When it comes to people who Porsha knows that she, you know, should not have certain behaviors toward, I will give her this. She tries at first. Porsha will try to be respectful, try to whatever the fuck. But the minute that she's triggered in that way, or the minute that she's pissed off, which is nothing, triggered don't mean nothing but you pissed me off. So the minute that she's pissed off, okay, she's going to react defensively. And instead of responding, she's going to react without thinking about it. And she says it. So absolutely, Gina should have known better. And I'm just surprised she ain't called her ugly. Because Porsha is that type to say something mean and below the belt like that about her child's grandmother. She is.
Because the way that she be talking to Londi and them. Which I feel like, let's go there. Because this whole thing, it was awkward in the beginning. From the very beginning, it was awkward for me, especially, and I was annoyed particularly by them delineating that Londi was Porsha's cousin on her father's side, and Lauren was, like, you know, like the father's side, mother's side. I was like, what is this about? But now that we are
communicated to me very early on that there was a difference in the two sides of the family, or at least they believed there to be a difference in the two sides of the family. And Londi, I was confused because my ass really, you know, giving everybody a chance and okay, it is what it is, what they're saying or whatever. I assumed that Porsha just had these relationships with her cousins that because cousin relationships will bleed over across family lines.
Absolutely.
And your cousins on your mama's side that's cool with your cousins on the daddy's side will call each other
Absolutely.
cousins. We are
For sure.
cousins. Okay?
Absolutely.
So the fact that they're making that distinction, or the fact that became, revealed to us that there was a division that existed amongst the family beyond just them identifying the characters on this show, but there really was a division, that was uncomfortable for me. And it also was the first clue that Porsha got a bunch of people on TV that were not prepared to be on television. That was hint number one. Yes. Okay?
Yes.
Just because people have vibrant, larger than life, extremely vocal personalities, or just because your friend or cousin is funny as hell, that doesn't mean that these people are ready to be on television. And what that looks like, what it ends up looking like, is Porsha bringing someone like her cousin Storm on this show, okay, who is willing to let a circumstantial disagreement turn into a vicious back and forth. Really just a forth and forth, because Dennis wasn't really engaging with her on the internet or on social media after the show was airing. He engaged with her while they were filming the show. But in all the shit that was going on the internet afterwards, he wasn't a part of that. Dennis was not, engaging with her. But she was so angry and so moved by what the fans and the commenters were saying that she continued to make really serious threats and allegations towards Dennis. That made no damn sense. Let's start with her saying he is a straight up pedophile. I was about 18 and 19 when I worked for him.
Please.
You can't just say that. You can't throw that out and then double down on your stupidity thereafter with what you say next. But why are you even willing to go to levels like that are for things that are not true? If this motherfucker had sexually, violated you or been a pedophile, that then yes, but that's a really serious thing to throw on somebody with a far-reaching impact when you're talking about a television audience.
Yes. And
you're not ready to be on TV.
There's just such a lack of maturity. And I mean, I don't know, maybe it's because, we're the same age. And I think I look at it like this. Maybe I sometimes wonder if younger generations don't really recognize the gravity of being on TV, because, every reality, like we can content creators, we now can create, things that people can watch on YouTube or this or that or whatever. But like when we're talking about globally syndicated television,
linear television, yes,
like this is the responsibility of what a platform like that really means. I don't know that many people understand how huge that is, and we're just out here playing.
Especially Keia, right? Especially Keia, considering who we're talking about. Storm's a person who ain't done nothing but sit up and watch these people come in and out of the Love and Hip Hop casts, and back and forth out of the Growing Up Hip Hop cast, and these other miscellaneous shows that are just inconsequential and really have no focus when applied to a person's career in entertainment. Just these flash in the pan, showings on television. That's what she knows. No one has communicated to her and set her down before she participates in this and said, hey, darling, I know what you're thinking and what you associate things with, but let me tell you what this is and what this means for you and everybody
what
else
this means
involved.
For you right now, what this means for you 10 years from now, what this means for you, everybody connected to you right now and into the future. And while you out here just being loud and trying to go viral and just being pressed to be trending on Twitter.
Yes.
This is what it's going to cost you in the long run of your life. And I know I feel like I sound like somebody old auntie, but it pained me to see this. And I was disappointed that Porsha not only let it happen, but was encouraging.
Absolutely. You have to remember, Porsha been sliding by her damn self since she was introduced to us on reality TV. Porsha never introduced herself as a person. Hey, I'm Porsha Williams, and this is what I do. These are the goals that I'm pursuing. This is what I'm serious about. this is my focus, and then we enjoy the other parts of her personality that are more casual and less serious. That's not what we experienced with Porsha. Porsha just showed up. I'm here and I'm about to just participate in this scene, and that was it. And she was reliant upon having a quirky, funny, lovable personality and being a beautiful woman. Okay. And those were the things that made people pay attention to her. So as opportunities presented themselves thereafter for expansion in her, like things like being on Dish Nation, things like Bravo's chat room,
writing a book, like
writing her book, becoming an author, you know what I'm saying? These things that legitimize you and can create a focused trajectory, right?
A career.
Porsha now has to do career cosplay, you know what I'm saying? And act as if she gets the importance of these opportunities and stuff. But she really didn't herself, so she was ill prepared to communicate that effectively to her family that she needed to support this new show. She needed these people. They had nothing to lose, and they came on. As much as we love on Liz, you the same damn thing. On Liz is a person who fought for civil rights and shit, but on Liz comes from a time where there was a system and you had to answer to people for certain shit. And as soon as those producers got to asking questions the next day when they were in a group setting after that big fight at that restaurant, and Porsha had texted them and said, act like it never happened, don't say nothing on camera. What's the first thing on Liz said out her mouth? Well, I was told not to say anything.
Snitch.
Because this white producer then put just a little bit of pressure on y'all and addressed it directly. Now you scrambling because you don't want to mess up and get in trouble. And so, well, I was told not to say anything. I know Porsha was like, God damn. But this is what happens when you have people that are not prepared for this sort of opportunity. And especially when their ill preparedness is at your fault. It's your fault, Porsha, because you didn't take the time. Porsha didn't prepare a manual. They needed a manual.
Well, this is what I was wondering. Like, do you think that they ever sat down and mapped this out?
No.
Like, this is and I mean, I understand that this is reality TV, but at the same time, there's got to be some sort of a method, some sort of framework to the process, because what we have witnessed for these last few episodes or last whole season, goddammit, is free for all. Like chaos, because there has not been any sort of clear direction. And Porsha pushing this live. I wanted this to be about blending my family. It's like, no, that's what you might say, and that's what you might have convinced yourself.
You wanted your family to get on here and act a fool, but you didn't realize that the things that they were going to be acting a fool about. Porsha thought her family was going to come on here and have, circumstantial arguments, disagreements over their personalities clashing, things like that. She didn't realize that they was going to come on TV, had to be, because these people have no connection to each other other than you and your business. That's exactly what they're going to lean into and talk about. And that's all they can talk about. Serious matters that you probably didn't, and that's why the show is genius that they called it Porsha's Family Matters, because that's exactly what they started talking about. Serious matters that should not have been fodder for reality television. And Porsha didn't see that coming. Okay? She
didn't. She expected every, like to your point, I think that moment that Darlene had at the fountain, that kind of histrionics and performance is probably what.
That is what she expected.
That is what Porsha expected, and we was going to laugh and chuckle at that, and we wasn't going to glaze over the real core issues.
Because even to their credit, Keia, right? I'll give them that. When they did have those sort of antics, and when the conversations, that was funny when Porsha's aunt said that she, finally thought her feet weren't ugly. You know what I'm saying? And then when the next day when they was going to drink tequila and they were on that bus, and Dom and Lodi and Londi rather, reenacted the whole situation. That was funny as hell.
It was good. It was good.
Funny.
It was good.
Unfortunately, they didn't fill up the space of this show with moments like that. They filled it up getting right down into Porsha's business and embarrassing the fuck out of her. That's what she get. And it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm going to ask you about, did you see, I saw recently, yesterday, that Dennis bought Porsha the Rolls Royce.
Simon, yes.
Simon, I'm sorry. Simon bought Porsha the Rolls Royce. Fallon posted that he bought her the same one, I guess, at some point.
They were the same color, but this is where Dr. Robinson comes in, and this is a shared disgust for us. When we offer commentary on something, okay, we have an informed opinion, and we speak based on facts and actual occurrences, right? Somebody somewhere, okay, was an internet person that wasn't fact checking and thinking things through, and just saw two really expensive Rolls Royces that were the same hue, same color family, had the same color interior. And were bought by the same man, and said, "Oh, see, he got her driving her car." When the car that Fallon was driving was a convertible coupe, the car that Porsha received was a sedan. Okay, right. Totally different cars. But because these people, and then what happens? The blogs, which I was surprised at, picked it up and ran with it, and people in the comments, see, they gave them the same cars, and that pissed me off because we're not laughing at them for the shit we should be laughing at them at, and talking about the shit we should be talking about. You dumbass niggas is just looking at something and typing, "Oh look, same car!" Ah! That made me mad, Keia. I was like, damn, here we go. Like, we're wasting time once again. I can't even laugh with y'all because this is how stupid y'all are. It was different cars, okay?
Different cars. I just hate that all of this is so unresolved. And
that's what happened when you fuck somebody's man before they get a divorce. And lie and about act the like timeline. You didn't. Lie about the timeline.
Lie about the timeline. Act like you didn't. And I think, like real journalists, because did you saw Porsha on Tamron Hall?
I did, and Tamron ate her ass alive every corner she took.
Tamron was not with the shit. I mean, she called Porsha to task.
With a crossed leg and a smile on her face. No, Porsha, no, we don't do that. No, Porsha,
she didn't raise her voice, nothing.
You're not going to get married.
She was like, but you bought a house? You bought a house?
Oh, no, Porsha, no. What that means is, I was like, Tamron. Okay.
I said, now this is the investigative journalism that we need. This is what the game is.
Okay, Tamron was Cameron. She was Dipset Tamron.
That's what
I was like, damn.
Tamron needs to host the reunion. Okay,
yes, she does.
I want her to ask. Yes. Okay. Let's get the real questions. But I mean, all in all, I just want us to connect. We had not connect to chat about this.
Yes.
We kind of back and forth on Twitter, but we hadn't really had a good sit down to get into the mess of Porsha's, foolishness for a little while. And so I just wanted to come together with my brother and just, shoot the shit.
Thank you for letting me shoot it with you. I look forward to opportunities to just talk to you in general, honey. You're such a gift. So I just wanted to be in conversation with. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me on your thing. And, we're going to continue to watch reality television. We're going to continue to have opinions, and we're going to continue to have these conversations on our phones.
Yes. What is your opinion? Just to close up, we're going in. I know that the Housewives has a whole new cast they were taping now for the next Atlanta season. Do you have any thoughts, hopes, predictions about the upcoming season of Housewives of Atlanta? Where we headed?
I do actually. We all know that the cast for season 14 was previously announced. You have Kenya Moore, Candy Burris, Drew Sidora, Sanya Ross Richardson's Ross, or whatever.
The track star.
Let me see. Kenya, Candy, Drew, Sanya. Who's the fifth one?
Let me look it up right quick.
You have Marlo Hampton. She has her peach. So
she finally got her peach.
And there's a sixth housewife. Who are we forgetting about?
Candy, Kenya, Drew,
Sanya,
Marlo,
and there's one more person.
Candy, Kenya, Drew, Sidora, Marlo. Let's see.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Drew, Sidora, Sheree Whitfield.
Sheree is the extra housewife. So we know they have a new cast. I actually feel good about this cast. I love the fact that they have been tight-lipped when it comes to spoilers and leaking. That lets us know that production's doing their job and they're not contingent upon us knowing something. That means that whatever they shot, is so good that they don't want us to know about it. They didn't have to leak a story to build up and drum up interest like they did previously with the Bolo shit and other storylines that have leaked. So I'm excited about this. I think that the friends of are strong this year. We have a new lady who's stirring up all kind of shit that Sheree introduced to the circle. Her name is Fatu. I can't remember her name, but it's a beautiful first name. But she's starting shit, and then Manyetta Shaw, Neo's ex-wife and baby mama, who is also really good friends with Candy in real life. She is a friend of the show this year. They're actually currently, as we speak, in Jamaica right now filming their final cast trip. They had 3 cast trips this season coming up. The first one to New York to see Thoughts of a Color Man on Broadway, which I'm hearing is where the pivot occurred that started all the shit for the drama this season. Okay. Then they had a trip they had a mountain cabin trip to some mountains somewhere in Georgia, and now they're doing an international trip to Jamaica, which feels good. We didn't get that last season because of the COVID restrictions. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this season. Also, Marlo is about to show her ass as a housewife. We've been waiting for this.
We have
10
been
seasons.
Waiting for
10
so
seasons.
long.
We met Marlo in season 4. It's now season 14, and she's a full-time peach holder. So, and you know she's gonna bring it. Even the pictures of her outfits that we've seen, she's building a new home. She's building a beautiful new modern home.
She's got the mom and auntie thing. She got her nephews.
I'm ready. And I also, as much as Drew Sidora got on my nerves last year, she was a willing participant in an authentic way to the drama, whereas LaToya Forever was just doing sensational stuff. So I actually am looking forward to Drew losing it a little bit this season.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Drew reminds me of early Porsha. You know, her first season, we just was sort of like figuring Porsha out, and Porsha was sort of adjacent to the mess. But as you know, we got into later seasons with Porsha, we got to see more of who she is. And so I'm hoping that Drew will sort of settle into her, persona as a housewife.
The letdown friend is going to be that Drew don't have that confidence that Porsha had. So even though Porsha was figuring shit out, Porsha was confident. She was less, I'm just going to say it, Drew's thirsty. She is. She's thirsty when it comes to this show. And her just trying to throw shit at spaghetti on the cabinet door and see where it stick. Like, come on, Porsha didn't do that. And that is that's the only difference, but I totally agree with what you're saying about Drew finding her footing and us watching, her really find her legs within this group and give us some real authentic moments and reactions to things. I agree. But I'm looking, so to answer your question, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited actually about this season. I think we're going to get a good season. Yeah.
It's going to be good. And again, I love you so much. And I'm going to talk to you soon. But yeah, we'll have to have you back on. But again, just a little TV recap with my brother.
That's right, damn it. Love you, Keia.
Love you so much.
Thank you for having me. Can't wait to come back.
I love you too.
All right, boo.